gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome all of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com, as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update for March 22nd, 2019. We are reaching closer and closer to WrestleMania, and the WWE has offered a lot to talk about as far as the weekly show reviews go, and the news, rumors, and reports. I got a lot of good news, rumors, and reports, so stick around to the end. But right now, we're going to get straight into the weekly show reviews. Monday Night Raw, I really don't know what to say at this rate about Monday Night Raw. Literally, it's the same shit every single Monday, and I'm repeating myself time after time after time again. This Raw, legitimately, outside of a semi-decent opening segment, offered nothing of value or excitement or interest at all. And that is quite sad. They actually put more effort into the fucking Lafayette, Louisiana show, and that crowd was dead as shit, more so than they did with the Chicago show. And Chicago, the only reason why they were even reacting is because it's Chicago. So Chicago's always a good crowd. This was perhaps one of the most lackluster Raws I've seen in a long time. Nothing of excitement or interest. That is sad, and we are just less than 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. Lesnar and Heyman kicked off the show. Heyman ran down Brock's victims that Seth Rollins was mentioning, saying how, hey, Rollins wants to claim that Lesnar has trouble with guys of Seth Rollins' stature and agility, ability, whatever the hell you want to call it. Heyman goes, hey, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles. Was the winner AJ Styles? No, it was Brock Lesnar. Was the winner Daniel Bryan in that match? No, it was Brock Lesnar. Lesnar, Finn Balor. Was the winner Finn Balor? No, it was Brock Lesnar. He mentioned McIntyre. McIntyre actually came out, and he was talking about how it was nice to finally get the respect that he deserves from Heyman. He said that, you better find a new opponent for Seth Rollins because I'm going to decimate him tonight. Rollins came out with a steel chair, and I believe he delivered 13 steel chair shots to Drew McIntyre. Crowd was hot for Rollins. Crowd's chanting, burn it down. Brock then just walks away. But that would not be the last time we would see Brock in the show. Now, I actually had high hopes for the mystery partner of Finn Balor. There were rumors going around, reports and tweets saying that Sami Zayn was cleared for in-ring competition. Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley. Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley. I was hearing that all week. And Cole's like, I think it's going to be a monstrous tag team partner. Strowman's Finn Balor's partner. How many times have we seen Strowman and Finn Balor team together? I'm so happy to see Strowman and Finn Balor team together for the umpteenth time on Monday Night Raw. Said no one ever. Best part about this match is it was quick. Went 5-6 minutes. Strowman and Balor defeated Lashley and Rush. I actually have some news on Finn Balor. If you saw the thumbnail, you will hear the news on Finn Balor and WWE being unhappy with the Demon Advertisement. And I'm going to explain why. Who gave a shit about this tag team match? Strowman and Balor defeated Lashley and Rush. And then later on, Strowman announced that he will be the first participant in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Most likely, Braun's probably going to win. But, we got people like Apollo and Andrade who actually deserve a WrestleMania moment. Even Nakamura or Rusev. But, yeah, they'll probably give it to Braun. They'll probably have a little segment with Michael Che and Colin Jost just to waste fucking time on WrestleMania's card, even if it's on the pre-show. And then a moment of bliss with Elias. Two individuals who have nothing of importance going on at WrestleMania as of right now. Yeah, Alexa Bliss is hosting WrestleMania. Yeah, I'm so excited just to see Alexa Bliss go out there and talk for 15 minutes. Elias is the headline musical act at WrestleMania. Who cares? He was the headline musical act at WrestleMania last year before John Cena took him out, and then The Undertaker came out and squashed John Cena. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit at this rate? Seriously, Heavy Machinery came out with No Way Jose's conga line, and No Way Jose then attacked Elias after what happened last week. No Way Jose attacked Elias, No Way Jose went to the ring, and we get an impromptu match. Wow. Like, we haven't seen that gag before. I swear, the first hour was full of nothing but worthless filler. Absolutely worthless filler. Elias defeated No Way Jose. I don't even know. I don't even know. We knew it was going to happen. No Way Jose, and I'm actually going to say this right now. No Way Jose is a better wrestler than Bobby Lashley. I don't want to hear a fucking word out of anyone. No Way Jose is a better wrestler than Bobby Lashley, without a shadow of a fucking doubt. Bobby Lashley, you can clearly see the difference in their in-ring ability. I don't care if No Way Jose hasn't done jack shit on Raw. The Intercontinental Championship would be better off on No Way Jose than Bobby Lashley at this rate. I would much rather see No Way Jose versus the Demon Finn Balor at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title than fucking Bobby Lashley. At least No Way Jose has fluidity in the ring. At least No Way Jose is smooth. And at least No Way Jose has a fucking character. So Kurt Angle came out. He was going to do another match on his farewell tour. And he announces his WrestleMania opponent to be Baron Corbin. Yes, Baron Corbin. I'm sorry, I needed to step away. Because, you know, I'm still fucking fuming. And the reason why I'm fucking fuming even more than I was on Monday is because I found out that the reports were going around that this is not meant to be a swerve. This was the plan all along for Angle's retirement match. That speaks fucking volumes about WWE. Then we had a match with Chad Gable and Kurt Angle. I'm not going to bash this, actually. I'm not going to just rip it to shreds, because this was actually a nice moment for Chad Gable, and this was actually a nice little match. Nice little back and forth. Chad Gable and Kurt Angle starting off very slow, feeling each other out. We had Chad Gable put Angle in the ankle lock, actually. Angle was able to reverse out of it. We had an Angle slam reversed into a DDT for a 2 count on Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle ended up winning with the ankle lock on Chad Gable. Again, nice little moment for Chad Gable. Corbin came out, and he cut that promo. Obviously, the crowd was booing the shit out of him. There was actually someone defending Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, saying how Baron Corbin's a great heel, and I don't even know. It was some fucking loser from the UK wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. I think his name is @Cackles on social media. I had a fucking conversation with him. I lost fucking brain cells in a conversation with them. That, some fucking irrelevant loser on social media. It's probably in his bedroom right now with cookie crumbs and barbecue sauce all over his t-shirt. But Baron Corbin, he was a good heel. He's not a good heel. They fucking ruined Baron Corbin more so than I have ever seen a superstar get ruined. Now trust me, there has been plenty of superstars that have been ruined, but Baron Corbin and the potential that he had, and that Lone Wolf gimmick when he was United States Champion, even though it wasn't the peak of his career, as we all thought it would have been, that was a great run for Baron Corbin, and he was doing great shit on SmackDown Live. They moved him over to Raw. I actually thought he was going to be in an Intercontinental title program with Seth Rollins when Rollins was on his hot streak in the middle of 2018. They gave him this shitty-ass Constable gimmick into the Raw General Manager gimmick, and they're still having him parade around in a fucking Raw GM suit. Corbin is not a good heel. It is go-away heat. You know what that means? You know what that means, or do I have to explain it to you just like I've explained it to the fucking idiotic Roman fans every single day on social media? Go-away heat means that the crowd does not care for you, is not invested in you, and they just plainly don't want to see you at all. They legitimately don't like you. And that's not even Baron Corbin's fault. It is WWE Creative's fault. The guy is a good wrestler. I'm not going to take anything away from him. The guy can work in the ring. He's not a bad competitor. The problem is that this character that they have given him has single-handedly killed off any momentum that he's ever had And on top of that, he brings the quality of the show down. Outside, now, I'm going to say that almost every match so far on WrestleMania's card looks good outside of this match. They had the potential to put an actual opponent in there that would actually mean something to Kurt Angle, but, they chose Corbin. I actually hope that this fan backlash is going to end up changing the match to John Cena versus Kurt Angle. I hope so. And you know something? Last thing on this topic before I move on. I guarantee if they go forth with Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin, at WrestleMania, I guarantee you that people are going to look back on this random-ass Raw match with Chad Gable and Kurt Angle, and they're going to end up saying that this match was actually better than Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. Do you realize how sad that is? Do you realize how sad that thought is? That this match with Kurt Angle and Chad Gable is going to get more praise than Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin at WrestleMania, the biggest show of the entire wrestling year. And they're going to be saying a random-ass Raw match was better than Kurt Angle's retirement match. That speaks even more volumes about WWE. That speaks so much bad about WWE in this modern era. Bayley and Sasha addressed the crowd, saying that they will appear on SmackDown Live to face the Iconics. Natalya and Beth come out. Look, I really have no problem with Beth Phoenix as an in-ring competitor, but babyface Beth Phoenix and Natalya is probably one of the cringiest things that I have ever seen. Probably, her voice and her tone when she's speaking, I'm ready to come out of retirement, it doesn't even sound natural. I don't know what it is, but Beth and Natalya, I have zero interest in seeing them compete for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. This right here is most likely just going to be a piss break match. It really is. I really have no interest in seeing it at all. We had a brawl between Natalya and Sasha. That ended in DQ when fucking Nia Jax and Tamina interrupted. Nia Jax wants to go off and say that she has accomplished more in the last 3 years than Beth Phoenix has accomplished in her entire career. I realize that Nia Jax is a fucking dumbass. I mean, just look at her tweets. At this rate, if you're a fan of Nia Jax at this rate, my God, you have to be the dumbest fuck on the face of the earth. You have to be the most delusional fuck on the face of the earth if you're actually a fan of Nia Jax at this rate. Let me tell you something. Beth Phoenix is a multiple-time Divas and Women's Champion. She actually was praised for having the match of the night with Eve Torres at Survivor Series in 2011, I believe it was. Beth Phoenix is a Hall of Famer. Beth Phoenix has done some things in the then Divas division that Nia Jax could only dream of doing. Nia Jax held the Women's Championship one time for 70 days, and Nia Jax has been a part of some of the worst women's matches of the last year. What exactly has Nia Jax accomplished in these last 3 years that supersedes anything that Beth Phoenix has ever accomplished? I realize she's a heel, and I realize that you're trying to make her come off as a bitch, but seriously, it's like WWE and Nia Jax. They're so dumb that they work hand in hand, and they end up embarrassing themselves. Nia Jax is an embarrassment to herself. She has gotten worse as her time on the main roster has gone on, and I'm going to continue to say that. And to me, it's just as fucking irrelevant. Ricochet defeated Jinder Mahal, who cares? Ronda Rousey defeated Dana Brooke, and this was quick and painless, 15 seconds for the Raw Women's Championship. Ronda then beats down the security, and her husband, Travis Brown, actually got involved. So they're adding another layer onto this Ronda Rousey I don't give a fuck character, which I have no problem with. I have no problem with the whole Ronda situation. At this rate, look, WWE has completely done the entire Raw Women's Championship storyline and title picture to death. I'm just looking to get to the match and have a great match and have Becky Lynch walk out victorious. Plain and simple. Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. Look, again, Baron Corbin, decent wrestler. Apollo Crews, he's fantastic in the ring. One of the most underrated performers on Monday Night Raw. There was a beach ball sighting, by the way. I saw behind Baron Corbin that Beach Ball Mania was starting to run wild. Apollo Crews got the win here over Baron Corbin. And look, I'm going to stress this. I'm going to continue to stress this until they actually do it. Apollo Crews needs to be a staple in the mid-card on Monday Night Raw. They need to start building an actual fucking mid-card on Monday Night Raw that the people can actually be proud of. Look at the mid-card that they got on SmackDown Live. Kevin Owens, Mustafa Ali. Joe is United States Champion. He's defending now against Rey Mysterio, which I'll talk about when I get to the SmackDown review. R-Truth, Andrade. They got some great talent in the mid-card that could possibly go to the main event one day. Why on Monday Night Raw do we only have certain stars like Finn Balor and Apollo, and it's not even a mid-card? You think Bobby Lashley is going to make a mid-card valuable? Bobby Lashley is one of the worst wrestlers that they got on Monday Night Raw, and on top of that, he's probably the worst candidate to hold the Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to say it again. No way Jose is a better wrestler and would be a better representation for the Intercontinental title than Bobby Lashley ever will. We had a promo with Batista, and this was pretty much standard shit. Michael Cole just asking questions. Batista says that HHH used him. You know, DX Evolution, same thing. He manipulates people. He's manipulated all of you, and he promises to end his in-ring career at WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre challenged Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And again, I'm going to reiterate this again. I don't necessarily have a problem with Drew and Roman facing off in a one-on-one match at Mania, because at the end of the day, look, it's going to be a good match. Yes, I am happy about that. I look for good wrestling when I watch WWE. When I watch wrestling, I look for good wrestling. And if it's good wrestling, then I don't really have anything to complain about. I don't have anything to rant and rave and, have a vein pop up in my head and pull my hair out. But seriously, at the end of the day, this is just a fucking filler match just to get Roman Reigns on the card. Just so he could take a victory at WrestleMania, just so this fucking good storyline of Joseph and Hawaii overcoming cancer can continue. I swear, I am fearful WWE is going to go back to the same fucking tactics as soon as WrestleMania is over with Roman Reigns. Now they're going to have to work, if Roman Reigns does win, which most likely he will, they're going to have to work twice as hard to build up Drew McIntyre back up to that legitimate Scottish psychopath beast that he was before WrestleMania. You have to do twice as much work to build him back up for Rollins when they go into a program for the Universal title during the summer. Roman, I don't care where the fuck he goes. Just keep him out of the Universal title picture. Now, Rollins and McIntyre. The match itself, look, again, these two are great at what they do. These two are fantastic in the ring. Rollins with the suicide dives, the sling blades, the super kicks. Rollins knows how to perform. McIntyre is great in his own right. McIntyre, I love the Falcon Arrow, the Superplex Falcon Arrow combination. It was a good match. But again, it really didn't offer too much outside of a good match, mainly because of the fact that these two have been facing off with each other for the last 8 months. They did it before Extreme Rules. They did it after SummerSlam. They did it on the road to... Did they do it on the road to TLC? I don't know, but they did it before the Royal Rumble, and now they did it here. Rollins and McIntyre should not cross paths again until the summer. Lesnar came out. He played mind games with Seth Rollins. Rollins turned away, and Drew McIntyre at the Claymore. Drew McIntyre got the win. Way to make Seth Rollins look strong going into WrestleMania. Way to make Seth Rollins look smart going into WrestleMania. I swear, I'm going to have more fun when I get my next IV treatment come next Friday than I am watching Raw next week. SmackDown Live actually didn't offer too much excitement either. Mainly because of the fact that WWE's overly complicated and overly stacked main roster booking has now taken an effect on the Kofi Kingston storyline. They have killed off a lot of momentum and killed off a lot of interest, including mine, as far as this Kofi Kingston storyline goes. Because when I was scrolling through social media, what are you going to do? I do this shit in one recording. I don't care about it if I drop a pen. I was scrolling through social media and I was seeing comment after comment after comment saying how this isn't even fun anymore. It's unbelievable. It's overly convoluted. Those are the exact tweets from multiple people. Multiple people that I follow, multiple people that follow me, multiple people that I know who are true wrestling fans saying the same thing. Overly booked, unbelievable. It's just not fun anymore. WWE, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them, but every single time they get their hands on a main program that has so much potential, their overly complicated booking just absolutely kills it and brings it down a notch. That is sad. I'll discuss it when we get to the gauntlet match, but as far as SmackDown goes, we had probably like one or two decent little segments here and there, and that was pretty much it. It was a C- episode of SmackDown, which is a little bit out of the ordinary since SmackDown Live has really been kicking ass as of lately. The Miz kicked off the show, and listen, I wasn't sure about babyface Miz, but after this promo, I can say that I am loving how they are presenting the Miz. Miz came out and he says that people warned him about Shane McMahon. They warned me, the Miz, about Shane McMahon. Miz says he didn't believe him, and that came back to bite him in the ass after Shane McMahon attacked him and put his hands on his father. Miz says that Shane McMahon is not the best in the world. He is a McMahon. He was born the worst. He says that he's a vile, disgusting human being. And Miz says that, you may own the company, but you don't own me. You don't own Kofi. All the baby faces were plugging Kofi as well throughout the night. They kind of overdid that as well with this whole fucking Kofi Kingston storyline. Miz actually, this is where the promo really got good. Miz says that his father didn't give him love. He had to earn it. The fans didn't give him respect. He had to earn it. And after 13 plus years, he says that I think I've earned it. The fans were actually really getting behind him. I'm actually surprised, saying that he has earned their respect. The fans were chanting, "You deserve it." Miz goes, "You're damn right I do." Then Miz says that Shane has earned one thing and one thing only by himself, and that is an ass whooping from him at WrestleMania, and then he just flips the mic. If they continue to book The Miz in a serious babyface role, a serious focused babyface role, no pandering to the crowd, no cringy one-liners, then I think they have something with this babyface Miz. I think they have something. The Miz, great fucking promo. The Miz can cut a great promo any day of the week. It doesn't matter what you give him. The Miz will go out there and he will make you believe every single word that he says, and he made me believe in every single word that he says. And you know something? I am damn proud of The Miz. I am damn proud to say that The Miz has come so far. Last year, I was saying how he was a terrible representation for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this year, 1 year removed, I'm saying that he's one of the best that they got. He's one of the best that WWE has, and he for all we know, he could very well be a WWE champion over the summer. From that, we go into a tag team match with Sasha and Bayley and the Iconics. And we had Lacey Evans come out. We do the same fucking thing. This Lacey Evans shit needs to end. It really does need to end. I really can't stress it enough how overdone WWE's done this. Again, another case of WWE overdoing the booking. A stupid decision just to have Lacey Evans do a catwalk as if she's at a fashion show. She's literally had one match and one match only on the main roster, and that is the Royal Rumble match where she lasted 30 minutes. Lacey Evans is actually a decent competitor. But you're overdoing this fucking character to a point where nobody's going to actually give a shit when she actually gets into the ring to compete. She should have already been competing in matches. She should have accepted an open challenge from Asuka at Elimination Chamber, so that way Asuka wouldn't seem as irrelevant as she seems right now. I have some news on Asuka as well, if you don't already know. Next week we got a Fatal 4-Way. We got Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella, and Naomi. Winner faces Asuka at WrestleMania. Where the fuck's Nikki Cross? I'll take Naomi, because she's the one that can bring the best match out of Asuka. She's the best wrestler out of all four of them. I would still rather take Nikki Cross, but Asuka versus Naomi, give those women 12, 13 minutes to kick off the show. I have no problem with that. But this Lacey Evans shit really needs to end. It really needs to end. They have completely ruined the entire character that Lacey Evans possessed. Actually have her get in the ring and show us what she can do. The tag match wasn't even that good. It was good because Sasha and Bayley had to fucking carry the Iconics in this match. The Iconics, again, same boat as Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. I don't know what is it with some of these women from NXT, but some of these women from NXT, including the Iconics, they've gotten worse as time went on. Same thing with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley came back. He started off decent when he came back last year. He's gotten worse as time went on. The Iconics ended up winning here. Billie Kay took out Bayley with the boot. And, yeah, there you go. Beat the champs. And, yeah, they're most likely going to be added into the women's tag team title match at WrestleMania. We're probably going to get a Fatal 4-Way. But no team from NXT, but yet they showed up on NXT and they got a huge fucking ovation. No team from NXT, though. God, I should have gotten more water. I don't care. I'm going to scream and yell, and I'm going to get through the rest of the Lightning Flash update because I'm just that damn fucking good. Because I'm the best fucking wrestling analyst in this fucking community. I own this community. Don't you forget it. Moving on. Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe for the United States title was confirmed for WrestleMania. Now, listen to this. I understand people are mad because they want to see more superstars in there like Andrade and Mustafa and Owens and Truth and have it be a ladder match. I get it. But in all honesty, this match, Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. Joe, this is his first WrestleMania walking in as a champion. This is Rey Mysterio's first WrestleMania match in half a decade. I say this is a great undercard match. You give these guys 13, 14, 15 minutes for the United States Championship. This is the type of match that is going to make the United States title prestigious again. What they've been doing with the United States title on SmackDown Live has actually been very good. So, we had Rey Mysterio's son Dominic actually make an appearance. And, you know, me being a sick, twisted bastard, I was having premonitions of the following weeks leading up to Mania, Samoa Joe locking in the Coquina clutch on Dominic. I'm not sure WWE is going to go that route, but I would love to fucking see that. Now, the reason why I wouldn't change this match is because if you're going to put guys like Mustafa or Andrade or Owens in there, yeah, it's fine and all, but Joe needs to win. Joe needs to hold that title till at least Backlash. So what's the point of putting him in there if you're just going to have him lose? Andrade, this is his first WrestleMania. Andrade shouldn't lose in his first WrestleMania. Even if he's on the pre-show in the Battle Royal, put him in the Battle Royal, have him win the Battle Royal. Give him an accomplishment. Give him the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal Trophy, and then start building up Andrade for the United States title in the summertime versus Mustafa Ali. It's not that big of a deal. Why wouldn't you want to do that? But Joe and Rey Mysterio, I would keep it. I would keep it. Good undercard match. This is a good match that's going to bring awareness and prestige to the United States title. Have Joe retain at WrestleMania. I have no problem with it. We had the Kevin Owens show with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Kevin Owens is just being his normal self, trying to stir the pot. And we get a brawl between Becky and Charlotte, and that was pretty much that. Styles promised to tear the house down at WrestleMania and defeat Randy Orton, and then we go into the gauntlet match. Bryan says that Kofi was chosen to replace Ali. Kofi earned nothing, so obviously Bryan's still playing up to, his heel gimmick, doing what he does best. Now, the gauntlet match itself. Kofi had a good performance with Sheamus. Kofi defeated Sheamus. Kofi had a good performance with Cesaro. He defeated Cesaro. Okay, that was fine. Now we get to Rowan, and this is where things started to go downhill. After Rowan intentionally got himself disqualified, I was under the impression that WWE was going to actually play it smart, and they were going to have superstars like Joe and Orton lose via countout if they were going to have Kofi win this gauntlet match. I don't understand how Kofi Kingston, after being in there for already 35 minutes, and he rolls up Samoa Joe and pins him. Samoa Joe is nearly 300 pounds, and Kofi Kingston is 220. Able to hold down Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's fresh. Kofi's already been in there for 35 minutes. See, this is where it started to become unbelievable. I understand people wanted Kofi, and literally everyone on the timeline was going, this is unbelievable, this is not fun. It just became too ridiculous. It really became too ridiculous. Now, if they were going to have Kofi win the gauntlet match, and he did pin Randy Orton, even though I thought I saw Orton's shoulder up, Vince McMahon came out, he said, face one last opponent, you face Bryan. Bryan and Kofi went about 3-4 minutes. Bryan hit the knee, and Bryan defeated Kofi. I don't really know where the fuck they're going. There was videos, and there's like multiple videos on social media saying that, with Kofi and Xavier saying how, we should just leave. So I think they're going to play up that the New Day's just going to walk out. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to do with Kofi, but at this rate, it was just a complete waste of time. The entire show was a complete waste of time. If Kofi wasn't going to win the gauntlet match, and now we got to wait till next week, 2 weeks before WrestleMania, to actually find out how they're going to get Kofi in a WWE Championship match with Daniel Bryan, then what was the point of the entire gauntlet match? Why did you have to sacrifice all those guys, including Randy Orton and Samoa Joe, who are in 2 primetime matchups at WrestleMania, make them look weak, make them look almost like everyone else, going into these huge matches with the likes of Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles at WrestleMania? You're going to make Kofi look so invincible, and then Daniel Bryan comes out, hits him with a running knee, and defeats Kofi Kingston after all of that. After all of that. Complete waste of time. It was completely unnecessary. It was completely... I don't really have any words to describe it at this rate. I really don't have any words to describe it at this rate. And look, I am interested in this storyline, and I actually want to see a classic between Kofi and Bryan, and I am actually for Kofi Kingston getting this opportunity. I'm actually for it. But, again, at what cost? At what cost are you going to sacrifice all these guys and just make it so fucking convoluted and confusing and just so over the top that people now are actually turning against it? People are turning against this storyline just like they did with Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky. WWE's overbooking has taken this storyline down a notch. WWE has themselves to blame. So now how are they going to get Kofi into a WWE Championship match at this rate? People, they know it's coming. If it's coming, why waste all this time and all this energy and all these matches and all these superstars? Why waste all this time trying to build up sympathy when people were already at their peak of sympathy at Fastlane with Kofi Kingston, so much so that they booed Mustafa Ali? What was the point of all of this? Why didn't we just have Kofi Kingston just face off against one person or just have a confrontation with Vince McMahon? Why didn't we just have the New Day occupy SmackDown Live after Fastlane and vie for Kofi Kingston getting a WWE title match? We are 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. The match still isn't confirmed, even though we know it's coming. Why waste all this time making people wait for the actual confirmed match? Why not just make the fucking match? Why not make the fucking match when the writing's basically already on the wall? I'm done ranting about that. Let's move to 205 Live, because 205 Live was actually a great show. 205 Live had a lot of good shit on it. And the crowd was actually hyped up for it. The crowd was actually into it. Indianapolis, good wrestling crowd. The show started off with Mike Kanellis versus Akira Tozawa. This was actually a decent match, even though crowd wasn't as into it. I had a feeling it was going to be Akira Tozawa facing off against Mike Kanellis. These two went back and forth. Tozawa with his signature dropkick. Tozawa building momentum. Mike Kanellis hit a Super Meishinuku driver from the top rope. Tozawa kicked out. We had Tozawa take out Kanellis. He was going to the top. Maria caused the distraction. Tozawa ran to the opposite corner, tried for the senton. Mike Kanellis got the knees up, hit that ripcord DDT, I believe he calls it. And Mike Kanellis defeated Akira Tozawa. Good win for Mike Kanellis. I had no problem with it. Mike Kanellis, he's got a lot of potential. The guy can work. The guy can put on great matches. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where Mike Kanellis goes. For all we know, he could end up vying for the Cruiserweight Championship in the next coming months. I wouldn't mind that at all. Next week, we got the Lucha House Party versus Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo, and Jack Gallagher. So they are continuing the storyline with Humberto, Drew, and Jack. We're going to see how that plays out. Most likely, it's going to play out as Drew Gulak is going to end up turning on Humberto. The main event. I'm going to describe this main event in a sentence that I have said before, but it still hasn't registered in a lot of people's minds yet. If you are not watching 205 Live, you are living life as a wrestling fan wrong. Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander in the finals of the Cruiserweight No. 1 Contenders Tournament. This was an absolute classic. Absolute classic. This was one of the best matches of 2019 thus far. And this was Tony Nese's best match. This was Tony Nese's and Cedric Alexander's best match together. They've had a plethora of matches. This was their best one. Started off very slow, and then it started to pick up. We had Tony Nese draping Cedric on the ropes. Tony Nese did the springboard moonsault while Cedric was draped on the ropes for a close 2 count. These two went back and forth. Cedric connected flush with the neuralizer. We had a Meishinuku driver. There was a deadly spot where both men were on the top turnbuckle, and they both punched each other down. Both of them landed on the apron. Crowd's actually chanting 205 at this rate. Crowd was hot for Cedric as well. It would chant for Cedric all match. Later on in the match, we had Cedric and Nese exchanging some heavy shots. Cedric connected flush with a super kick. Tony Nese kicked out. Tony Nese hit the Fosby flop over the top, hit the 450. Cedric kicked out. Tony Nese can't believe it. Crowd's all hyped. Nese went for the running Nese. Cedric hit the Spanish fly. Nese kicked out. He hit the lumbar check. Cedric hit the lumbar check. Nese fucking bounced. He fucking bounced like he was on a trampoline and fell to the mat. And at that rate, I'm like, is that it? That's it. They're going to give it to Cedric. 1, 2, Nese kicked out. You could see in the crowd. The crowd was standing up. Crowd was standing up. When Nese kicked out, you could see the shocked faces on the crowd. They're chanting, "This is awesome." Nese counters, hits the running Nese. Nese defeats Cedric in an absolute fucking classic. If you have not watched this match, go back and watch it. This match went 20 plus minutes. One of the best matches of 2019. And I'm not even exaggerating. I am putting this on my top 10. I'm going to put this on my top 10 of 2019 at the end of the year. Hands down. No matter which place it's in. It is Nese versus Murphy at Mania. I couldn't be happy. I couldn't be more happier for Tony Nese. Murphy then came out and he's celebrating with Nese. And then Murphy just knees him. Murphy just knees him in the face. Good move. Murphy, he's just too good of a heel. Nese has to play the babyface. And you know something? I'm not even going to be mad if they give Tony Nese the Cruiserweight Championship. Because at this rate, after a match like that, he's fucking earned it. Tony Nese has fucking earned his spot on 205 Live. And if they give him the Cruiserweight Championship, I'm all for it. NXT UK. This was much better than last week. This had a plethora of good matches, actually. And a huge major announcement by Johnny Saint and Sid Scala to kick off the show, saying that Pete Dunne will defend the UK title at TakeOver New York as a part of WrestleMania weekend. Pete Dunne comes out and he says 3 simple words. Give me Walter. Pete Dunne and Walter confirmed for WWE NXT TakeOver New York. I can't wait. Now, Walter, again, he hasn't really showcased anything to me personally that has been exciting. He's a great wrestler. But, you know, with Pete Dunne, I think that Walter's really going to have his breakout match. And I think that Walter could possibly have a 5-star classic with Pete Dunne if they give him enough time. So I can't wait to see that match at TakeOver. We had an interview with Tony Nese. Not Tony Nese. I'm still focused on Tony Nese. Tony Storm, excuse me. Tony Storm addressing Ginny and her comments saying that, you know, Ginny, the only type of gold she gets is the gold that her mom and dad can buy her at a dollar store. Ginny actually has to work hard when she's in the ring with me. So, obviously, they're building a program between Tony Nese. I'm still on Tony Nese. I'm still fucking on Tony Nese. With Tony Storm and Ginny. So, Tony Storm and Ginny for the NXT UK Women's Championship. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm interested in seeing that. I like Ginny. She has a great character. She has just a cocky, bitch-like attitude. I think Ginny's best matches have been with Tony Storm. So, Ginny and Tony Storm definitely has a lot of potential. I'm interested to see where they go with that. Definitely could make the title prestigious. Ripley actually was walking by, and she says that Xia Brooks' side should quit dreaming. So, obviously, they're building that feud as well. See, this is what I like. On a 1 hour show, NXT UK, they're building multiple rivalries in the women's division. Why can't we do that on Raw and SmackDown? Or when we do have an undercard rivalry in the women's division, why is it that it has to be cringy and repetitive like Mandy Rose and Naomi? From there, we had a match between Eddie Dennis and Ligero. I was actually interested in this match. I'm a fan of both Eddie Dennis and Ligero. Ligero's fantastic. I love his strikes. I love his moveset. I love the springboard stunner that he does. I love Ligero's punt kicks. Eddie Dennis, he's great in his own right. He's a great powerhouse. Eddie Dennis ended up winning this match. I was expecting Eddie Dennis to win. Eddie Dennis won this match. Now, after Ligero hit the sunset flip powerbomb, Eddie Dennis kicked out. Eddie Dennis hit a stalling superplex, then hit that razor's edge into the turnbuckle, the Severn Bridge, then hit the next stop driver. Good match for what it was. Eddie Dennis back to winning ways. Interested to see where they go with Eddie Dennis and Ligero. This is probably going to be a little bit of an undercard rivalry. I would like to see another match between the two. Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams. They're in the gym, and I was actually talking about this last week. They could be challenging for the NXT UK Tag Team title soon, which is good. I like that. The grizzled young veterans, they cannot just go straight to Mustache Mountain. Not yet. They need to have a little bit more of a run with it. Have them face a few more interim opponents. One of them would be Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams. Nice interim match. Jordan and Williams are great wrestlers. They're great baby faces. Have the grizzled young veterans defeat them. Then you can move on to Mustache Mountain, and Mustache Mountain can win the NXT UK Tag Team titles whenever that may be. We have a new tag team, actually, with Wild Boar and the Primate. They're calling themselves The Hunt. They defeated some jobbers that looked like they were from the Outsiders. That was that. Again, it was pretty much a squash match. Wild Boar and the Primate, they get the win with almost an American Alpha Grand Amplitude-like move, where Wild Boar kind of just tossed one of the jobbers, or I can't remember what his name was. He just tossed them into a back suplex by the Primate, and they won. So, interested to see where they go. Cassius Ohno made his official debut in NXT UK against Ashton Smith. Ashton Smith, his strikes are flush. Cassius Ohno, his strikes are fucking brutal any way you look at it. But I really do like Ashton Smith in the ring. This was a decent match for what it was. Ashton Smith was mainly on the defense this entire match. Cassius Ohno ended up winning with that ripcord elbow. After the match, he actually elbowed Ashton Smith again. So Cassius Ohno, he's continuing this heel persona. He got the win in NXT UK. Travis Banks actually came out. So they could be building towards a program with Travis Banks and Cassius Ohno, which is actually pretty interesting because Travis Banks, he's a very underrated performer on NXT UK. Travis Banks and Cassius Ohno, that sounds like a hard-hitting match to me. But you take a look at NXT UK. They got all these fantastic fucking undercard feuds. Take a look at Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw can barely pull off a bearable undercard feud. Most of their undercard feuds are cringy, repetitive, or just flat out horrible. Seriously, look at all these fucking great undercard feuds, all these great matches that we could possibly get out of a 1-hour show on NXT UK, but yet you can't even do a semi-decent main event feud, never mind an undercard feud on Monday Night Raw with Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Main event was actually a very good match as well between James Drake and Tyler Bate. James Drake, very underrated performer as well. James Drake hit a gut-wrench suplex on Tyler Bate to start off the match. This was in the beginning portions. Tyler Bate came back. He was able to hit that springboard lariat that he does. James Drake hit grit your teeth. He went for a high-risk maneuver. Tyler Bate scouted it, and Tyler Bate won with the spiral tap. He does that move brilliantly, by the way, Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate gets the win, so this is obviously setting up Mustache Mountain versus Grizzled Young Veterans Part 2. I'm not sure when that's going to be. I think that should be a few months down the line because, again, if Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams are going to be challenging for the title soon, then I would assume that, that's probably going to be maybe during WrestleMania weekend. I would assume that they would have the NXT UK Tag Team titles on defense probably during WrestleMania Access. I'm actually going to be going to Access on April 5th. That's going to be from 1 to 5. So I'm probably going to get to see some action there from the NXT UK guys, if possible. Now, NXT TV, regular NXT. This was built around one thing and one thing only. This was built around the NXT Championship. Triple H came out, kicked off the show, and addressed the state of the NXT title. He announced that Johnny Gargano will compete for the NXT title at TakeOver New York. He announced that a Fatal 5-Way will take place, and the winner will face Gargano. Fatal 5-Way was Adam Cole versus Ricochet versus Aleister Black versus Matt Riddle versus the North American Champion, Velveteen Dream. Next week, we got the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals with the Forgotten Sons taking on Black and Ricochet. But the main event, just like 205 Live, a fucking classic Fatal 5-Way match. Matt Riddle, let me just say something about Matt Riddle. I don't know what it is about him, but the smoothness of Matt Riddle is absolutely inhumane. This guy's doing picture-perfect gut-wrench suplexes on Ricochet, and he's holding Ricochet in place when Ricochet's kicking his legs, and then he floats over into another one and floats over into the third one. This guy was bringing people down and wrestling people down into bro mission after bro mission after bro mission in the beginning portions of this match. I don't know how Matt Riddle is able to do half the shit that he does. Again, it is inhumane. These two went back and forth. We actually had a nice sequence here where Velveteen Dream hit a super kick on Adam Cole. We had a punt kick to Matt Riddle. Then in came Black and Ricochet. Ricochet hit a backflip kick on Velveteen Dream. Aleister Black hit a knee on Matt Riddle. It was just a huge striking fest. All 5 men were down. Crowd was standing up chanting NXT. Towards the end of this match, we had Aleister Black hit the Black Mass on Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was taken out. Velveteen Dream came in, hit the Dream Valley Driver. He was going to go for the Purple Rainmaker on Matt Riddle in order to win the match. Ricochet came out of nowhere, hit a huge springboard Frankensteiner, sent Velveteen Dream crashing into Aleister Black. So Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black were taken out. Ricochet went up to the top, hit a picture-perfect shooting star press on Matt Riddle. He got into the cover, but Adam Cole, like the sneaky sly son of a bitch that he is, came from underneath the ring, hit the last shot on Ricochet. Adam Cole, 1, 2, 3, wins a fantastic fatal 5-way. Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT title in a 2 out of 3 falls match is confirmed for TakeOver New York. And I don't want to, throw anything out there. I don't want to state the obvious, but I think we could be on the verge of another 5-star classic from Johnny Wrestling. These two are going to absolutely, this very well could be better. This right here, you could have this match. I'm going to call it. You could have this match only on TakeOver New York, and I guarantee you, if you put these guys out there, they can brawl for 2 hours. It will be better than anything that we're going to see on WrestleMania. That is not a prediction. That is a spoiler. Channeling my inner Paul Heyman there. Now, let's get into the news, rumors, and reports. I got some good ones, so listen closely. I actually got 2 reports from Slice Wrestling. Shout out to him if you want to go follow him on Twitter, at Slice Wrestling on Twitter. First one, report, and I quote, "The recent Ronda Rousey heel turn in promos against WWE fans is part real life, as Rousey is not 100% satisfied with the way her WWE run has turned out and the negative backlash by the fans. All of this contributed to the heel turn and upcoming post-WrestleMania 35 hiatus." Now, let me tell you something. I have been loving this Ronda Rousey heel turn, but if this is how she truly feels, with her run not being satisfied and the negative backlash from the fans, cry me a fucking river, bitch. Cry me a river, you bitch. They can do whatever the fuck, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And you're going to have to sit there and deal with it. Seriously. We had guys like Cena and Roman. They're like starting to embrace the hate. Well, Roman didn't even give a shit. I don't understand why you give a shit so much since you're already getting paid. I'm not even a fan of Roman Reigns, but I'm going to defend him in that aspect. I'm going to defend him in that aspect. What the fuck do you want, Rousey? Seriously. The fuck do you want? Earl Cole said it best. Shout out to him. If you want to go follow him on Twitter, it's at WWE Earl C. Shout out to him. When he came on the rundown for Fastlane a couple weeks back, literally, he put it into perspective the best way it could possibly be put into perspective. Ronda Rousey is a fucking 8-year-old acting like her toys got taken away. She's a fucking baby. She's a baby. If you're not 100% satisfied with the way that your WWE run turned out, fucking blame creative. Blame creative. Creative was the problem from the start, and how they just pushed you into a position in which you pretty much didn't even earn to begin with. The only reason why they pushed her into the position was to get headlines. Meanwhile, they didn't have to put her into that position that early. They would have gotten headlines if she won the titles on a fucking house show. Negative backlash from the fans. If you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Stay out of the fucking kitchen. This business is not... I don't think Ronda Rousey's cut out for any business. Any public business, to be quite honest with you. She did the same thing with UFC. Walked off, acted like a fucking baby because she lost. Came to the WWE. Now she's legitimately pissed because of the negative backlash by the fans. Meanwhile, the fans can do whatever the fuck they want. Do you not know how this business works, Ronda? You can't control the fans. Okay, so if you want to be a whiny bitch, go do it somewhere else then. Go do it somewhere else. This actually makes me happy that she's leaving. And I was actually a fan of Ronda Rousey with the progression that she's shown. I was actually a fan, and I was impressed with Ronda Rousey. But after this, we don't need any whiny bitches telling the fans what to do. Okay? So, Vince McMahon has already tried to do that with Roman Reigns, and how, he wanted to have everyone cheer Roman, but that didn't work out for him. We give him the middle finger every time. My next report from Slice Wrestling is another tweet, and I quote, report, WWE moving main roster stars down to NXT has been an idea WWE has discussed for some time. This move would give some WWE stars a chance to shine on NXT, as WWE is experiencing an overcrowded roster and not enough TV time. I don't know how long this has been in discussion, but this is well overdue. This is well overdue for numerous amounts of reasons. This is well overdue for numerous amounts of reasons, mainly because of the fact that you have these stars like Shelton Benjamin, Apollo, Ty Dillinger before he came up, all these other guys, Sanity, the Colognes, the Club, Lucha House Party even, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. All these guys who can get over, all these guys who can wrestle, all these guys that have a lot of potential in them to be solid staples on the show. And you don't have enough time for these guys. If you were to do a move from from the main roster, from Raw and SmackDown, and move some guys down to NXT, get them familiar with NXT, you could possibly rejuvenate their careers. Look at what Triple H has done. Triple H, since he took over 205 Live, and he's rejuvenated so many careers. Even Buddy Murphy. Look at Buddy Murphy. Part of a dead tag team with Wesley Blake after they lost the tag team titles. He comes to 205 Live. The guy's fucking jacked, and the guy's the hottest thing in the cruiserweight division right now. Guy's become almost a mythical god. Seriously. Why not move these guys down to NXT? You know, if they're going to do that, if this is the case, and now the report is actually gonna get put into the plans of WWE Creative, then if my calculations are correct, then what we're going to be getting is, when we get the Superstar shakeup after WrestleMania, we're going to see some guys being moved down from the main roster to NXT. And I have absolutely no problem with that. You just got to pick the right people. I don't want to fucking see Alexa Bliss or Dana Brooke. I don't want to see Bobby Lashley in NXT. I don't want to see that shit. You got to put legit talent down in NXT, because I don't even think Triple H could save the careers of guys like Bobby Lashley or Dana Brooke or anyone like that. Moving on here. This is actually a pretty big report. So listen to this. WWE officials are reportedly unhappy with the recent leaked WrestleMania advertisement that showcased the Demon Finn Balor. Now, Felix Upton from Ringside News reported that some people in WWE are not happy because WWE hasn't even announced or even hinted at Finn Balor becoming the Demon at WrestleMania. Now, I don't know what happened, but apparently some people must have screwed something up. Some people must have screwed something up. Some people must have overheard the plans or something like that. Some people must have been given this advertisement, and I don't know. Something must have happened, and they must have leaked it by accident. Because, again, WWE hasn't hinted or advertised Demon Finn Balor at all. And this leak may have been a huge red flag going up, basically stating that, yeah, we're bringing back Finn Balor the Demon, so I can understand why WWE is unhappy. But at the end of the day, WWE is at fault here, because they got to be doing a better job with this shit. They really got to be doing a better job. This just goes to show you how unorganized they are backstage. They're not just unorganized with creative, they're unorganized with management as well. Something so simple as leaked advertisement. That just goes to show you how fucking unorganized the WWE as a whole is. I'm telling you, it is such a huge issue, you have no idea. I don't make this shit up. I do not make this shit up, people. Anyway, we're going on to our last report of the day. Now, this concerns the United States Championship, but more specifically Rey Mysterio. So, Dave Meltzer reported that WWE reportedly changed the creative plans at WrestleMania for Rey Mysterio, as he was supposed to be facing Andrade in a mask versus hair match. Now, Dave Meltzer quotes, to show you how short-sighted and how far this booking went, Joe choked Ray out at the last pay-per-view, which was, of course, WWE Fastlane, to win when you have R-Truth, who could have lost, or Andrade, who could have lost, that aren't going nowhere. So that tells you, on the day of the last pay-per-view, there's no way this match was planned, as he's talking about Rey Mysterio and Joe at WrestleMania. Now, by that Tuesday, when Ray goes and beats Joe in that tag match, it probably was. So he's talking about that after Ray pinned Joe. That was probably WWE's light bulb going off saying, okay, let's do Rey Mysterio versus Joe for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. Even though, it's kind of pathetic. Again, I will reiterate again. It is extremely pathetic how you have all these championships, U.S. title, IC title, SmackDown Women's title, both tag team titles and the women's tag team titles, and you've waited all this time. You're waiting last minute to get all these championships that are supposed to mean something, especially the United States title. The United States title is a singles title. It is a singles title. It is one of the prime singles titles. It is one of the 4 major singles titles in the entire WWE. It is a title held by multiple Hall of Famers, multiple future Hall of Famers, and a title right now that is on one of the best in Samoa Joe. And you don't have any plans for that specific championship until 3 weeks before the event. Even before the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania, you don't have any plans for it. Even after the pay-per-view was over, you have to wait till Tuesday to actually formulate an idea, and you're just going with the flow. Now you know why the entire build for this entire show has been lackluster. WWE has pretty much been relying on the matches themselves to sell. And they've been putting all of their booking efforts into the main programs and then leaving all the other programs to just be almost like a shrug of the shoulders. It really doesn't make any sense, but they really got to step up their game. They really need to start booking their titles, especially going into WrestleMania, a lot better. Seriously, the U.S. title was actually booked a lot. The U.S. title was actually given more spotlight going into WrestleMania last year, and they had that rivalry between Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, and then you had Rusev and Jinder Mahal get involved in it as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. A couple of things. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram at @TheDJStorms. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter at HistoryMakerDJS. Do not forget to check out the Lightning Flash Update last week if you missed it. And a few announcements. I'm going to continue to promoting. I'm going to WrestleMania Access on April 5th. That should be from 1 to 5. Hopefully I'll get to meet some of my fans over there. I'll be wearing my DJ Storms shirt as always. I'll be wearing the official DJ Storms wristband. I only got about 10 left. So if you're around the area, you can hit me up on social media if you want one. Also, on WrestleMania Day, before WrestleMania even starts, WrestleMania YouTube tapings in my hometown, my backyard at the Elmwood Park Recreation Center. The pre-show starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the main show starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be there. I'm planning on getting some interviews. I already got an interview down, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're just going to have to wait and find out. I'll also be going to the Raw after WrestleMania. I'm looking to get my tickets. I got some fan interviews set with some of my fans. Shout out to my girl Shannon from Boston. Hopefully I'll be seeing you in Brooklyn, as well as Earl Cole, baby. I will get an interview with you as well, and I got a limited edition wristband for you as well. And then, finally, April 14th, 2019, 1 week after WrestleMania, it is WrestleMania Never Forgotten. And my God, the main event of WrestleMania Never Forgotten, Joey Janela versus Crowbar for the Rescue Mania Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to be there. It's at St. Mary High School in Rutherford, New Jersey, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be there. And, of course, the DJ Storms production crew is going to be there, as always, because, you know, it ain't a party without the DJ Storms production crew. I'm going to see if I can get some interviews there as well. Tickets, I believe, are between $30 and $40. I think they still have some front row seats open. So definitely check that out. And May 19th, 2019, at Pub 46 in Clifton, New Jersey, it is the Wrestling Express Money in the Bank meetup. I'm going to be there. Tommy McGrowan's going to be there. Glenn Davidson's going to be there. All the members of Wrestling Express are going to be there. And come on, hang out, watch Money in the Bank. We're going to have a great time. I'll be able to meet some of you. You can take a picture with me. You can watch me cut a promo on Tommy McGrogan's Facebook live stream. Hopefully WWE doesn't block it again like they did for the Elimination Chamber. If you do, I'm coming after you, fucking WWE. Yeah, you better move your fucking headquarters. You better move your fucking headquarters. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you in 1 week's time for another Lightning Flash Update. Oh, no. Before I leave, I have to update you guys. Guys, the search for Thunder. Look, I've been looking for Thunder for the past 2 months, and I finally found a sign. I finally got a sign from the universe. Finally. Next week, I will reveal the sign from the universe, and I am this close. I am this close to finding Thunder, and I think finally, I have found Thunder in time for WrestleMania. Next week, you will figure out what this sign from the universe was. I think I finally found a breakthrough. I found a clue, and I will find Thunder in time for Mania. Till next time, I'm DJ Storms. You have a good one.